And now our central office administration. We begin with Interim Superintendent Dr. Richard Rivera, Assistant Superintendent Francis Rocha, Federal Programs Director Pete Riojas, Student Services Director Dr. Noe Moraida, Special Education Director Virginio Gonzalez, and Athletic Director Christian Navarro. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our central office administration. And now we introduce to you the high school administration. We begin with Principal Rene Ramos, Assistant Principals Aldo Vidal, Jaime Garcia, Candelario Cerda, and Jorge Gutierrez. We have our facilitator, Danny Hernandez, and our high school counselors, Lydia Gonzalez, Cindy Briceño, Ofelia Gonzalez, and Elvira Perez. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our high school administration. Now there are quite a few to mention, so at this time we ask all the Edcouch-Elsa high school staff and teachers to please stand to be recognized this evening. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my privilege to be the Master of Ceremonies for this wonderful class of 2013. My name is Jack Hassel. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we honor the class of 2013. We want all parents to be able to hear the names of their children and to be able to see them walk across the stage. In light of this arrangement, we ask that no one come to the stage area to take pictures until after the ceremony. That's right, you will be allowed onto the field after the ceremony. However, we are going to ask everyone to please do not bring any food or drinks onto the field. As you can tell, we have this very costly yet beautiful AstroTurf, and we want to keep it that way for future ceremonies and of course for our football season in the fall. In addition, at the bleachers, we are asking everyone to please not stand by the rails, as this will block the view of the students as they're receiving their diploma. We are also asking you to please refrain from using noisemakers. Thank you, just like that one. This is a formal ceremony, and we want this to be a special evening. We want this to be an evening that can be remembered by each and every one of our graduates and their family members and loved ones. So just to be frank, folks, every time that you use your noisemaker, I will have to wait until you finish using the noisemaker before I call out the next person, and it only delays the graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I introduce to you our high school principal, Mr. Rene Ramos, as he introduces our distinguished guest and commencement speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, high school principal, Mr. Rene Ramos.
It is my honor tonight to introduce a very important person here in Edcouch-Elsa. Brownsville businessman Ruben Cortez is the District 2 State Board of Education member. A Democrat, Mr. Cortez was elected to the State Board of Education in November 2012 and took office on January 1, 2013. He serves on the State Board Committee of School Initiatives. Mr. Cortez has served on numerous boards and commissions over the past years. Among his education-related appointments, Cortez is a former member of the Brownsville Independent School District Board of Trustees. Mr. Cortez has also served on the Council of Urban Boards of Education, the National Pre-K Legislative Committee for the National School Board Association, and the Region 1 Education Service Center Board of Directors. This year, State Board Member Cortez helped Edcouch-Elsa make history by being the only high school in the state of Texas to perform in front of the State Board on an official Wednesday meeting. That had never been done before, and the Edcouch-Elsa High Mariachi represents there on that historic day. We thank him for the great honor of inviting us. Today, he delivers the commencement speech to our awesome Edcouch-Elsa seniors of 2013. He is here today as a friend of the community, a voice in Austin for everyone here, and an honorary yellow jacket. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ruben Cortez.
Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to the Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District commencement ceremonies. Family, friends, welcome to this momentous occasion. Today, we celebrate you, the graduating class of 2013. As one of my favorite rock bands would say, the Black Eyed Peas, I have a feeling that tonight is going to be a good night. Yellow Jackets, you deserve from us gratitude for successfully completing the requirements set by the Texas State Board of Education, the Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District's Board of Trustees, your Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard Rivera, for pushing yourselves to the limit and now being ready to embark into the next phase of your life. Tonight, I have the distinct honor of standing before you as your Texas State Board of Education member. I am humbled to speak here today. Yellow Jackets, I am especially proud to be here with you because it was your school, your award-winning Mariachi Juvenil Azteca that stood with me as the Valley made history at my swearing-in ceremony as the first person from South Texas to get elected to the Texas State Board of Education in District 2. For that, I am extremely grateful. Mariachi Juvenil Azteca, Directors Marcos Garcia and Marcos Sartes, can you please stand? Because it was not, as your principal mentioned it was not only I that made history that day, but you as well. The Texas State Board of Education never allows musical performances on the Wednesday meeting of the State Board of Education in Austin. Performances are only and always on Fridays. So you guys made history that day as being the first mariachi ensemble in the state to have ever performed at the State Board of Education in 30 years. Can we give you guys a big round of applause? Thank you. Thank you for sharing in that very special day with me. The access that communities like yours here in the city of Edcouch and the city of Elsa have created through my being elected to this position is unprecedented. In the last 5 months, I've appointed more educators from the Valley to educational committees than have been appointed in over 30 years. We're bringing about change that we thought we couldn't happen. Our Valley educators are having an opportunity to influence textbooks that our children use in our Texas schools, because Texas is the largest purchaser of textbooks in the nation. That means our Valley educators get to influence not only what Texas children learn, but what about half of the children in the nation learn. Like President Barack Obama said, don't just get involved, fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for your seat at the head of the table. Yellow Jackets, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I'm doing for South Texas. And I'll give you a perfect example. Not long ago, I had the opportunity to visit with my good friends and your school board members, Mark Lozano, Jose Saldivar, Hugo de la Cruz, Eusebio Nava, Jared Castillo, Johnny Barra, and Genesis Montalvo, as they reached out to me to help them with an application for an early college high school right here in Edcouch, right on this campus. Parents, imagine future generations of Yellow Jackets sitting there as they're getting ready to cross the line to graduation, where all of them have the opportunity to walk to receive their diploma and have earned almost 60 college hours. Well, I'm here to tell you that that dream will soon become a reality. I will be working with your Board of Trustees until this application is approved. Y con favor de Dios, in the 2014-2015 school year, your entering freshmen right here will have the opportunity to be part of an early college high school. Please join me in thanking your Board of Trustees and your superintendent for their leadership. Yellow Jackets, I remember sitting where you are tonight thinking, wow, I made it. My 4 years of high school were full of great experiences. From being part of El Vaquero High School newspaper for 4 years, to being part of the yearbook club for 3 years, to learning some valuable lessons in life. I can't say it was all fun and games. I made a lot of decisions in high school, some good, some not so good. Nonetheless, all of which helped shape my life today. However, we would not be here without the love, support, and prayers of our parents and our grandparents for never giving up on you and for that continued belief that you can do anything. Parents, padres, grandparents, abuelitos, can you please stand to be recognized? ¿Se pueden poner de pie para estar reconocidos? Yellow Jackets, can we give your parents and grandparents a big round of applause? Thank you, parents. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention all the educators that had a hand in making tonight possible. For going that extra mile and giving you that extra support that you needed to successfully complete high school. I want to thank each and every one of you for everything you did to mold these young lives. I want to thank you for always encouraging them to do better. I want to thank you for never expecting less than the best from each of your students. And I want to thank you for always encouraging them to strive for the best and for all your guidance. So teachers, counselors, assistant principals, support staff, and Principal Ramos, please stand. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. On behalf of the Texas State Board of Education, I want to thank you for your leadership in preparing these students. Yellow Jackets, please join me and give their educators a big round of applause. There's a reason they call these commencement ceremonies. Graduation is not the end. It is the beginning. President Barack Obama gave a commencement address last month at OSU, and he told the class of 2013, your path to this moment has wound you through the years of breathtaking change. You were born as freedom forced its way through the walls of Berlin, tore down the Iron Curtain across Europe. You were educated in an era of instant information that put the world's accumulative knowledge at your fingertips. And you came at an age as terror touched our shores, and a historic recession spread across the nation, and a new generation signed up to go to war. So you've been tested, and you've been tempered by the events that your parents and I never imagined we'd see when we sat where you sit tonight. And yet, despite this, or perhaps because of it, yours has become a generation possessed with the most American of ideas, that the people who love their country can change it for the better. So graduates, as you venture into the next phase of your life, I want you to remember the importance of setting goals and always following your dreams, for you are the author of your life. You will determine which path you follow. Make sure you set your expectations high and never settle for anything less than the best. In our lives, we will stumble. It's learning from our mistakes that will help develop our character. We must learn to take responsibility for our actions and always focus on the important things in life. Find inspiration in the world around you. In the words of William Arthur Ward, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. As you look to the future, you must not forget your past, and always follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have done unto you. As I look out at the graduating class of 2013, I am extremely hopeful for tomorrow, because you are the future leaders. Thank you, Yellow Jackets, for letting me share this very special day with you. And may God bless each and every one of you on this road we call life. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause to Mr. Ruben Cortez. At this time, I invite our salutatorian for the class of 2013 to come up here and give his presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, our salutatorian is Jaime L. Paz, Jr. Jaime will be attending Texas A&M University in the fall. Jaime is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jaime Luis and Maria Gloria Paz. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaime Paz.
Good evening, Edcouch-Elsa. Buenas noches a todos. Quisiera empezar por agradeciéndole a todos ustedes que nos acompañan esta noche tan especial e inolvidable para nuestra clase del 2013. Qué bonito pero triste se siente estar por última vez en este estadio como estudiante. When I sat to think of what I would be saying tonight, I couldn't help remembering the many moments when the Jackets would make a big play. As I would hear the sound of a starting engine, el corrido de la máquina, I would say to myself, oh, I knew it. Touchdown, Edcouch. Congratulations to all of us who participated in any extracurricular activities, always bringing back the goal to our school. Needless to say, I am not only extremely proud to be from Edcouch-Elsa because I was raised here, but most importantly, because of all the friends, mentors, and so many cherished memories I've attained. As I glance to my right, I not only see prospective engineers, doctors, judges, or any professional title you can think of, but I also see everlasting friends. I want to thank each person who I've come across during this exciting journey. I can't thank you all enough for giving me the opportunity to play a small role in your lives. I have no doubt that you will go out to be successful and significant in your own ways. Tonight, I want to honor my grandmother, Margarita Ibarra, and my grandfather, Melquiades Paz. Both passed away during my high school years. I remember being saddened by the fact that I would never see my grandpa again, but I realized that I should not be sad, but be joyful, because I know they both are looking down upon me right now, listening to my speech. Los extraño, abuelita y abuelito. yo sé que están disfrutando de la buena vida allá en el cielo, pero quiero pedirles que me guíen y me mantengan por el buen camino, a mí y a mis compañeros. Te amo, abuelita, te amo, abuelito. Today, we are officially celebrating the beginning of our individual lives. The transitions of practically anything in this world are always the toughest aspects of life. But just like I've heard before, the happiest of people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything that comes along their way. I would like to share with you some pointers I've learned throughout my 4th-grade high school years. The first one is that you always need to be aware of what is going on or what will go on wherever you're at. I know I got a lot of practice in Mr. Smithers' English 4 class, right, seniors? Reading about Beowulf and his overconfidence. Next, always strive to be the best without losing your modesty. Like Mr. Segundo once told me, mantenga los dos pies sobre la tierra, porque es muy fácil de caer. Therefore, be humble. It's just like the song says, float like a butterfly, yet sting like a bee. Stay on task and use everything you've learned in life or directly from school to help you accomplish any goal. Se puede decir que mis padres siempre han tenido trabajos muy laboriosos, pero nunca me han faltado los consejos y el apoyo de ellos. Estoy demasiado agradecido porque no estaría aquí sin mis padres. Los quiero mucho, mamá y papá. Ustedes son la bendición más grande de Dios para mí. Following this comes working hard, seniors. Which ironically is the hardest part of life. But mark these words, give it your best and the best will always come back. I learned that last summer in Texas Boys State. Learned by doing was the motto. Since then, I have lived with that mentality and finally enjoy life the right way because we only have one to live. I unfortunately can't personally thank everyone who has contributed something to me in some way. There's just too many of you. Primeramente, a toda mi familia y mis familiares, muchas gracias por siempre estar conmigo y el apoyo que me dan. Todos mis maestros, directores de la escuela, las amables señoras de la cafetería, los custodians, mis choferes de autobús de la escuela, la asistente superintendente, Mrs. Francis Rocha, el padre Rubén y Mary Martínez de la Iglesia Sagrado Corazón, los sargentos de JROTC y unas gracias muy en especial para mis 3 instructores de mariachi juvenil azteca que contribuyeron la mayor parte del líder y persona que soy ahora. Y por supuesto, mi querida novia Miranda Barrón. Y todos los top 10, por favor. Un aplauso para todos los top 10. Finally, this is a commencement, everybody, not an ending. So keep calm, focus, and keep educating yourselves. Always appreciate your family. Be safe. I wish everyone the best of luck and keep in touch. Congratulations, class of 2013. May God bless us all and thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jaime Paz. Let's give him another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I introduce to you the valedictorian for the class of 2013. Our valedictorian is Megan Cantu. Megan will be attending Texas A&M University at Kingsville in the fall. Megan is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Edward and Dorothy Cantu. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Cantu.
Gosh, if you guys only knew how nervous I was. Okay. So, as you all know, my name is Megan Cantu. I don't need to say it again. And I am the valedictorian of the class of 2013. Okay. You know, I sat staring at my laptop screen for a good while, trying to figure out what I could talk to you guys about tonight, because it happens to be a very special night. Then it hit me. We, the class of 2013, did a lot in our 4 years of high school. We had great athletes, we had brainiacs, we had cooks and bakers, musicians and singers, dancers and runners, throwers and catchers. We had magicians, marines, leaders and followers. We had great businessmen and women. We had great inventors and thinkers. We are a class packed with greatness. And I have no doubt in my mind that every single one of us will continue to be great after this day. So I decided that for tonight, I'm going to give you 3 little tips that I believe will lead you in this new journey you are about to embark on. My first tip, face reality. My fellow classmates, every one of us has had that moment when we decided to skip class. Whether it was because we decided to stare at a wall all day instead of studying for Smithers' exam, or just because we thought our teacher was looking kind of mad because of last night's Dancing with the Stars elimination. We just thought we would be better off if we just didn't show up. Some of us would just go hide out in other classrooms, and some of us, you know, we would just find somewhere to go. And we would also just pray that our teachers didn't catch us in the hallways, right? Okay, well, I'm sorry you guys, I have some bad news. Our skipping days are over. In real life, we cannot skip. We cannot run away from a test. We cannot hide from reality. And even if we may fail, we must accept it and pay the price. But we do not stop at failure. The most important part is trying again. Never fail and give up. That is a path which I hope I see never of us take. We are all better than that. I believe it, and you should too. My second tip, be attentive. We are a class of great listeners. I hope none of you guys ever think you are too good to listen. This is called pride. Pride is an evil bug that closes your ears to any advice that comes your way. Sometimes in class, we thought that our teacher was up there lecturing for nothing. Then when it was time for that test, we ended up failing. Luckily, our teachers were nice enough to give us a retest, a second chance. In real life, a second chance is scarcely given. If you don't listen to what an authority is telling you, you can get thrown in jail. If you don't listen to what your boss is telling you, you can be fired from your job. Never fall into the trap of pride. Be a good listener and take advice. Not only will it get you out of trouble, but it will give you more opportunities in the long run. My third and final tip, ask questions. If you ever had a class with me, you were probably annoyed to death by my questions. And hey, look at where it got me. You guys must be fearless. When somebody gives you an opportunity to get more information, you take it. If your boss offered you a promotion, would you just sit there and stare? I hope not. Take the opportunity, advance, and get ahead of the game. You ask away and never be afraid of an answer. Asking a question is opening up your mind to an entire world. Never give yourself the Never give yourself the chance to say the phrase, I wonder if. Be fearless and never be intimidated by an answer. Always venture and never stop learning. Time to turn the page. So as I close my speech, so that we can continue with our graduation ceremony, I would like to thank all the parents out there. Your patience and guidance has brought us this far. Now it is our turn to show you what we, the class of 2013, are capable of. Mom and Dad, you guys were my sidekicks along the way. Thank you guys for helping me through this battle. Next, I would like to recognize the teachers. All you guys over there. Thank you guys for dealing with us knuckleheads and being some of the greatest mentors we will ever have the pleasure of knowing. And of course, I would like to thank my classmates. You guys are the bomb diggities. Sure we had many failed food fight attempts and never really got a set date for senior skip day. But I have no doubt in my mind that we're all going to be rocking our future with great success. And I'm gonna take this moment, we talked about this up there, so this is really new. I wanna recognize my top 10 kids, my gang, my clan. You know, we were always working together. So Jaime, Jessica, Jerry, Vivi, Esther, Isabel, Kim, Freddie. He's always ready, you guys, he's always ready. Itza. And you guys, you know, all of us deserve recognition and, you know, we're getting it and it's very well deserved today. So, class of 2013. Man, you all are amazing. And congratulations for surviving high school. Thank you all for coming here today.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan And now as we continue, I would like to recognize the top 10 students for Edcouch-Elsa, class of 2013. Megan gave us a preview. We begin with our valedictorian, attending University of Texas A&M, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Edward and Dorothy Cantu. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Cantu. Attending Texas A&M University in the fall, he is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jaime Luis and Maria Gloria Paz. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaime Paz. Attending the University of Texas Pan American, she is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jorge and Paula Asa. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Asa. Our fourth ranking student, he will be attending the University of Texas Pan American. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Margarita Miller and Mr. Gerardo Rios. Ladies and gentlemen, Gerardo Rios. Our fifth ranking student is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Juan and Zulema Jara. She will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, Viviana Jara. Our sixth ranking student will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. She is a daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Ana Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, Esther Rodriguez. Our 7th ranking student, she will be attending Texas A&M University in the fall. She is a daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Facundo and Maria Martinez. Ladies and gentlemen, Maria I. Martinez. Our 8th ranking student, she will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. She is a daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Norma Reyes. Ladies and gentlemen, Kimberly Reyes. Our 9th ranking student will be attending Texas A&M in the fall. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jose and Margarita Alonso. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose A. Alonso. And our 10th ranking student, she will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. She is a daughter of Mr. Aquilo Maldonado and Mrs. Maria Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, Itze Maldonado. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the top 10 students for the class of 2013. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Thank you. And now, we would like to recognize the South Texas College Dual Enrollment Academy graduates. These are students who received a degree while attending Edcouch-Elsa High School and South Texas College. We begin with Luis Alvarado. Luis will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jose Luis Rocha and Marie Alvarado. Next, we have Isaiah Cardosa. Isaiah will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Isaías and Esmer Cardosa. Next, we have Zenaida Guerrero. Zenaida will be attending Coastal Bend College in Corpus Christi, where she will also be playing softball. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Javier and Norma Guerrero. Our next student is Joseph Medina. Joseph will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. He is the son of Antonia Obregon. Our next student is Victor Mena. Victor will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. He is the son of Victor and Marta Mena. And our other student is Basilio Sáenz. Basilio will be attending the University of Texas Pan American in the fall. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Basilio and Marie Sáenz. Ladies and gentlemen, these are our EEHS South Texas College Dual Enrollment Academy graduates. In short, tonight they will be receiving a high school diploma, and they have already been recognized by STC for receiving their other degree. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a moment you've been waiting for. Graduates, it's a moment you've been waiting for. At this time, I invite our Edcouch-Elsa High School principal, Mr. Rene Ramos, to give the official certification of our graduates.
Edcouch-Elsa Board of Trustees Superintendent Richard Rivera, I certify that every student who is presented with a diploma has met all the graduation requirements of the state of Texas and Edcouch-Elsa Independent School District. It is with great pleasure and pride that I present to you the graduating class of 2013.
It is official, folks. And now we move on to the presentation of the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin. Receiving the first diploma, Megan Cantu. Jaime Paz. Jessica Asa. Gerardo Rios. Viviana Jara. Esther Rodriguez. Maria Martinez. Kimberly Reyes. Jose Alonso. Itze Maldonado. Luis Alvarado. Isaiah Cardosa. Zenaida Guerrero. Joseph Medina. Victor Mena III. Basilio Science Jr. Amy Acosta. Francisco Agüero. Brittany Alanis. Amir Alcala. Abigail Alfaro. Stephanie Almaguer. Nick Alonso. Alejandro Alvarez. César Armijo. Marisa Arriaga. Angélica Ábalos. Axel Bartle. Mariela Bautista. Francis Becerra. Marco Belmares. Jason Beltran. Denise Bentoncourt. Jimena Bueno. Ángela Cabrera. Jeliza Cabrera. Lorenzo Cabrera Jr. Kimberly Estelle Cázares. Juan Cano. Cassandra Cantu. Sandra Cantu. Gabby Capello. Tony Cardona. Josephine Carnell. Marquise Tijerena Carrales. Ivan Carranza. Jose Carrizales. George Carter. Jenna Cáceres. Ariana June Castañeda. Adriana Castro. Ernestine Cavazos. Esteban Cavazos. Jacob Cavazos. Karina Cavazos. Ileana Chapa. Enrique Chavez IV. Desiree Cisneros. Esteban Cisneros. Eduardo Contreras Jr. Eduardo Copete. Clarinda Cuevas. Jalissa Cuevas. Deanna Janelle Cutbirth. Beatriz Davila. Francisco Davila. Abigail de la Cruz. Tatiana de la Cruz. Daya Edward Janelle de la Rosa. Myra de la Torre. Benjamin de Leon Jr. Clarisa Delgado. Ruby Diaz. Elizabeth Dominguez. Yvette Dominguez. Stephanie Doria. Jonathan Duran. Hiram Eliseche. Stephanie Escobedo. Cruz Escobedo Jr. Chelsea Espinosa. Kimberly Espinosa. Edward Estrada Jr. Alexis Felix. Jacqueline Flores. Rubina Flores. Samantha Fonseca. Alyssa Fuentes. Delilah Fuentes. Adalberto Galarza Jr. Charlotte Garatin. Ashley Garcia. Calum Garcia. Lindsay Garcia. Marilyn Garcia. Matthew James Garcia. Michelle Garcia. Saida Garcia. Selena Garcia. Alfredo Garza. Arlene Mireya Garza. Christopher Garza. Clarissa Garza. Helen Garza. Kayla Garza. Melissa Garza. Melody Garza. Rogelio Garza. Aaron Gomez. Jose Gomez. Karina Gomez. Marisol Gonzalez. Mateo Gonzalez. Miranda Lynn Gonzalez. Rose Gonzalez.